What's up, swing trader? Snacks here. We're going to do our watch list for September 17th, 2025. It is FOMC day, guys, so I am expecting some heightened volatility. And as you know, we are flat going into this meeting as the reaction is completely unpredictable. And I do expect them to exploit those who are maybe over-positioned heading into it, right? A lot of people think both ways, really. That's why I expect volatility, right? A lot of people are calling top, a lot of people are calling moon, okay? So look, we're very light going into this. I have my long-term leaps, right, which stay on, but I have no triple R's, no peg plays, no gap down reversals, none of my other models on at the moment. Okay, we took profits last week and got ourselves up over 190% on the year. So I'm happy to be flat and happy to wait to position after we get a bit of clarity coming from this meeting. So we'll jump into the charts here. You can see NASDAQ futures here. You can see the volatility already, guys, and it is 5 a.m. in the States and it's 5 p.m. here in Thailand. That is why the sun is out. Okay, so let's do a little bit of market breadth, just same stuff we've been talking about, guys. The SPY is still a little extended. I do have a Friday expiry, like 1/8 size put on here, quite small, right? But you know, if we do get a sell the news event today, then I'll capture I would say probably a couple hundred, maybe even a few or more 100% on those puts. So it would realize a larger gain, right? Maybe more a quarter position or even a half if we really get a sell the news event here today or heading into Friday. So a bit of a lotto, not something I do often at all, but we're just so extended that I felt it was worth a light position, right? And see if we can realize more meaningful gains while risking something very tiny. Okay, so guys, look, we're extended. A pullback would be healthy here. A pullback would be them exploiting the news. It would be a sell the news event, guys. We've been pushing into it. I just wouldn't be surprised. Alternatively, of course, we could rip out of this, but look, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. More so, we know what's going to happen. We think we're getting at least a 25 basis points cut. It's more so that we just can't predict the reaction. Look, guys, things we've covered all week, even a bit of last week. So let's not get too repetitive here. We're going to wait and see the positioning. We're going to wait for the first sign of strength coming out of this, okay? Or the first dip if we do rip. If we rip higher, then we've got to wait for a dip, okay? A retracement, and then we look for the reaction, the show of strength, and a remount of our short term would mean we're back on the trend and our focus list will be firing off with triple R's, okay? But there are some things that I'm beginning to look at preemptively here. So TARS has been a really strong stock and a bit of a lagging sector, but really strong reaction off their earnings. Kind of got a fake out here of all-time highs, but we got to pull back into major levels. So I'm looking for a reaction here back over the 9 coming out of this Fed event. Could be attractive. Same thing here with Rhythm, right? So we're getting our first real pullback off of the gap ups. We're looking for a retracement reaction at around our level, remount of the 9. So we'll see if it holds down there until we get a bit more, again, clarity. I'm not going to just jump in because they announce it and the market rips. I'm probably going to still wait a few days until we can see the real trend set by the market, okay? And so for example here, if we look at what happened last year, all right, we started cutting rates September 17th, which was this date right here, and we popped up, sold off, popped up a little bit, sold off, right? We just shook around for a bit, but then when we really got this hold of prior all-time highs and back over the short-term moving average, we actually had a bit of a sustained trend. So look, guys, we're just not going to be in a rush. That's all there is to it, all right? There's going to be plenty of stuff setting up. I really like Amazon. I covered a few days ago. I really would like to get into Amazon here. All right, if we get a bit of a sell the news event, our next time over the 9 is going to get me in on Amazon, Meta, Microsoft. Gosh, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. I like Nail as well, something that we've seen obvious positioning into, accumulation pattern here on volume, right? So they have been positioning into this for a while because this is a very rate cut friendly sector, home builders, okay, of course, right? So you can see that we're not the first to the party here, and that's okay. This is validation, right? This is validation. We see their positioning. This is something they can't hide from us, right? So it's obvious. So if we get a sell the news event and we pull back into the 200 and the 50 and we show strength and then curl back up towards the 9 and trigger, I'll be buying home builders, okay? I could just take the 3X ATF or I might pick some of the names within it. So look, guys, we're just waiting, we're just watching. We'll flip through the Focus 50. Guys, if you want this list, this is a list of the strongest trenders in the market, good companies backed by growing fundamentals, all right, respecting and holding structure. That's what this entire list is made up of. I swing trade the leaders. My main model is the triple R, but I've got some other momentum continuation patterns, right? And we are in a raging bull market, so it is the exact type of thing you want to be trading. But as long as we can identify a trend in the market, which for those who wonder how often that happens, the answer is more often than not. Okay, we're usually in a trending market. It's just a matter of identifying those trends. Hey traders, if you're struggling to find consistent profitability, then you need a coach or a mentor. The markets are just far too brutal of a teacher. I'm up over 170% on the year and on track to do well over 200, so triple the portfolio this year, 2025. So if you want to stop spinning tires and you're looking for someone to lean over your shoulder and teach you a model that works, but more importantly than making money, I'm going to teach you how to keep it and compound it through proper risk management. I'd love to have you join me. I'm gonna give you an edge you can leverage for the rest of your life. See you there. Look guys, we're not gonna FOMO. All right, we're gonna wait. We're gonna let the market show us its cards, okay? If we push higher, we wait for a dip. If we pull back, we look for what level they defend. Gray zone, blue zone, gold zone, or prior all-time highs are the 4 zones I'm looking at, okay? Guys, they're gonna step in and defend a level. Highly doubt we roll over into a bear market at the beginning of a rate cut cycle. So if they shake some people, we're gonna look for where the two step in and position, okay? And then obviously that rolls over into our leaders again. If you like this list, then just comment below, I'll shoot it to you. I may have to, go back and forth, give me an email or something. I guess, I could just drop the link in the description. Why don't I do that? All right guys, thanks for coming.